Theo. Let's see this haunted highway make some waves. In terms of which deck is taking it, mm, Theo might also be favored here because these even-handed golem decks, if that Katra doesn't come down quick enough, these even-handed golem decks can just get overrun.
Alrighty, well, our players are ready. Again, welcome to round 3, everybody. We've got Cananada at the bottom of your screen. We've got the Overmaster up at the top.
So, Cananada keeping this hand. 2 Shadow Sigils and no time influence for this Katra. This Vara is stranded in hand. These 2 exploits against aggro decks, not where you want to be either. Exploit gonna come down. I have to imagine that Amarok is out of here and plunders away Vara Fate Touch. Ouch.
Yeah, pretty far away from casting that Katra. But hey, if there's any card that can get you out of that, it's an even-handed golem.
Yep. Even-hand Golem can't block 2/2s though. At least can't trade with them. Top decks another Vara and an Aramot's Designs. So a couple of Aramot's Designs in hand. So Canada not under absolutely lethal pressure yet, and I have to imagine this one of these Aramot's Designs is coming down because straightforward 2-for-1, and can't let those depth charges just pile up. So another exploit is going to take one of these removal spells, I have to imagine.
Yep.
I think it goes for the torch.
Probably. That's the one that can also go face in a pinch.
Yeah, that can go face. The board's about to be wiped, so this combust isn't too much of a worry. But okay, opts to take the permafrost.
Sure. Takes the permafrost, Aramot's Designs. Another plunder away to get that power. Plunder's a powerful ability. Still away from time influence, but at least Cananada is able to hit their 3 and 4 power drops courtesy of that plunder. Going to wipe the board and survive a little bit. Theo going to attack in with another 2/2 Explorer. Get another depth charge. Let's see what we got up here. We got 4 copies of depth charge here for Theo. That's 8 more damage coming in at the end of the game here. So Cananada at a virtual 10 at this point.
Just saying, right, hey, 1-for-1, I'll take it. And that Katra continues to be stranded in hand. In the meantime, Theo's just out of gas. And an hourglass off the top just cannot be played here. So I have to imagine we see these 2 Akanta sendings just come down. One of them's going to eat a torch, and the other one's just going to start producing these elves.
Yeah, when you told me that Cananada had no time against this aggro deck, this is not what I thought you meant, Delia. One of those elves going to eat a removal spell. Theo going to follow up with a Houndmaster. Also a Justice sketch in hand. Well, I would not have expected Cananada to hit Justice influence before time influence, but here we are.
No, we didn't. So hey, nothing better to do. Might as well play that relic and get things going.
Sure. Hey, I mean, Theo's able to attack in here with the Houndmaster. It doesn't have Tandem turned on though, so it's just a 2/1 that's hard to block. Going to keep getting in for 2 damage. And remember, don't forget about those depth charges. That's 8 damage sitting in the Overmaster side for free. Finally, a time influence for Cananada. Can play out that Arcanum Hourglass. Still 1 off from Katra, but getting closer. Also only 1 power away from Big Vara.
Yep, but out comes a Hound.
And
is this
I think it's lethal? Just game, right? That's gonna put Cananada 8, and then Theo just has to throw this card away, and that's game from the depth charges.
Right, just throw out this combust and take 8. Good game.
That's it. Doesn't even matter what the combust does because all you got to do is empty the hand. Here come those depth charges. That's 8 to the face, and the Overmaster, the Open Master, gonna take game number 1 over Cananada.
Yep. So this is basically why Hourglass got sidelined, because ultimately you're dependent on that Katra coming down on turn 4 or 5, and the way the deck's influence is set up, half of it is not time influence, and for a a double time influence card on turn 4, you want a lot more of your deck to have time influence. So Xenon's influence base, betraying it in that game in a large way.
All right. Theo going to take game number 1. Heading into game number 2, Cananada on the play. Theo keeping 7, Cananada on a mold of 6 here. But if you're going to mold a 6, that's a pretty nice one.
Yeah, that's a reasonable 6. A crest.
Got some removal, got some disruption, got a baby Vara. Pretty much all you want out of your opening hand.
One thing to note, though, was Canada drew 2 golems last game, and it still wasn't enough.
That's true. All right, Exploit going to be fired off here first. Going to see lots of options. Basically, pick your poison of aggro threat. I don't know what you take. Maybe Houndmaster, maybe Auto Tread.
Champion of Fury. Champion of Fury.
Champion of Fury. It's got the charge.
Yeah, that thing is the more immediate threat. Like,
yeah,
sure,
Houndmaster you're going to be able to wipe up with Aeromott's designs at some point. Ooh, going to take the Combust, actually. Protecting the blockers. Prowling Amruk off the top. That's going to get... Oh, I thought it was going to get Aegis, but...
I think you have to go with Aegis.
I figured, yeah. Instead, give me a quick draw. Okay.
Goes for the quick draw, and that's just going... Okay, so Cananada does not opt to just murder it on the spot. I guess because...
Yeah, just going to wait to try to get more units out of it, out of this Aeromott's designs. Champion of Fury coming down here, and then Torch going to take out that Spore Folk. Give me a lot of damage. That's 8 damage coming through here on turn 3.
Yep.
The interesting choice here for Cananada. You could slap the Vara, but my problem is that Vara doesn't really block either of these units, so...
She blocked him as a 5/5, and if Theo is going to let her pump... Like, there is...
I guess it's a way... I guess if you just trade it, it's just a unit that enters and kills the champion, I guess.
Sure.
It doesn't block the Amarok, but I guess that's just as good. You just point... It's basically just a unit that says summon, kill that champion.
Right.
So that's a fine
So the question
play.
is, does Theo want to throw away this Gleaming Grendon to continue pumping this Amarok? And the answer is yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to see it. Suicide attack just to trigger tandem.
Okay.
Nope.
Theo actually
Never mind.
pumping the brakes.
Gonna say, nope, that's not worth it. Gonna play out a Houndmaster here.
This is going to be brutal.
And the big Aeromott's designs. That's gonna wipe Theo's board, and Cananada gets to attack and gain 3.
Honestly, I think I like this to block. Yeah, Theo throwing the block,
Agreed.
decaying that baby Vara. Down to a 2/2. You really want to shrink those lifesteal units as much as you can.
I mean, it's interesting because I feel like the Overmaster's was in really good shape here. But it's funny if you think about what cards are really good against aggro, and it's like, well, a cheap board wipe like Aeromott's designs, a cheap blocker like Vinegrafter that gives you value. How about a thing that makes you sack a unit and has lifesteal? It's like a big body with lifesteal, a cheap body with regen, and a board wipe are like the 3 last things aggro wants to see, and Cananada just fired 3 of those off right after each other.
Right. And somehow Theo is still
right,
in this
and somehow
game.
Theo's still ahead. Now, this is interesting. Do you hold these 2 cards to double ping the Vara down next turn?
Yes, absolutely. Like, there's no reason to play this power right now.
Well, I guess
Oh,
okay, so you get the
right,
invasive species by pinging and emptying your hand, so there is some value there.
right. Forgot about the invasive species. So,
Big Vara, but
okay, big,
Cananada's a couple turns away from playing that.
right. One third of your deck is power. That's not just 2 turns. I think she's at least 3 turns away.
Yeah, probably.
Another Champion of Fury off the
Woo!
top for Theo. And yeah, this is lethal. Barring a block.
No, that's the
Okay, so
4. All right, Nectar of Unlife. Hmm. Don't think that does it.
no, the Amplify
No.
does not make it do more damage.
Yeah, the
Canada's just
Amplified, you
dead.
don't have. You can get something back, but you can't cast it. And that means that auto trade is lethal. So wow, credit to the Overmaster. Was able to get back a board wipe, a lifesteal blocker, and a regen blocker. Well done, the Overmaster, on taking that one 2-0 over Cananada.